Hey guys, I hope you are doing well and good. For today's video, we are going to discuss about our topic that's going to be building our foundation. That is going to be building business foundation. So I have here ready to go, and I will be sharing you a few points on what do we require when we have to build a business foundation. So there's going to be three main points, and each point will have a subdivision. So just like our previous video, I'm gonna be showing you on the slides that I have it. And if you have any questions, feel free to share your comments and your suggestions and feedback. At the same time, if you have any thoughts that you'd like to input, please feel free, so we can add always to our content. And also, if you would like me to come up with a new or different kind of idea or a concept that you think it's going to work out, just send me the info. I'm going to just analyze it and see if it's going to be really helpful for us, and to work on the real-time project. So as we discussed, for us today, we have building business foundation as our topic, which is going to be number 5 footage of this series. And the three main topics that we're going to discuss today. Number 1 is how to draft a business plan. So there are a few things that under this how to draft a business plan, I have listed out a few points. And also the second point is I'm going to share you a quick info. I mean, you guys already know how to use this freelance website to build your team. So to start with your new business, or to start a small scale business, basically we want to create a team. So for that team, we want to get to those resources from a freelance website. So most of the time I use a Fiverr, so I'll be sharing you contents from or say how do I do on a Fiverr, just basic info. And I'll also share you a link where you can get a discount about 10 to 15% on if you use any of those gig from the link that I'll be sharing in the comment section or somewhere down the description of this video. Okay, and the third thing what I have included in the points is gathering marketing materials. So how to gather these marketing materials and how to use those marketing materials. So okay, let's get back to our video, and we will share or discuss and go through our topics for today. All right, guys, so let's get to our video for today, and that's footage 5. We're going to discuss about building business foundation. So I have come up with a few points. That is my own way of structuring the plan. You may have your own way of doing, but I would say just go through the research of yours and figure it out and structure what is your priority. But let's get to our topic today. So we have a few points here today. So the first thing that we're going to be talking today is our 3 topics. Number 1 is how to draft a business plan. The second one is building team using a Fiverr. Now this Fiverr is based on how I use it. You can use your own free channel or a freelancer website. That could be one of these Upwork or freelancer.com, but I just prefer Fiverr. And so I just mentioned for this slide as Fiverr. Okay, this is not a sponsor video or anything, but it's just what I use it. And the last one we're going to talk today about is gathering marketing materials. Okay, so let's get to the how to draft a business plan. So what do we have in business plan, right? Whenever we draft a business plan, there are mainly about 5 to 10 points whenever you do a presentation. But I'm gonna just come up with 8 points today, which is kind of I felt like these are the top 8 list actually. So let's start with the first point. So what do we have in this 8 points of business plan? Right, number 1 is executive summary. And what does it contain? It has a bit information about your mission, your vision, and your purpose to start the business. And the second is who is going to be your customers or buyers. So what's your target market? Who are your product service intended for? Conduct a survey to gather demographic, interest, and budget. Number three is competitors. Define your competitors, their strength and weakness. Determine your competitive advantage. Elaborate the difference. Number four is staffing. Do you need additional staff to run your business? If you do, include their pays, experience, and the role and responsibility do you expect from your new member. Number five is vendor and suppliers. So, will you require outside source or project to operate? What about supplies that you will be using on a regular basis? Number six is marketing plan. How will you get your product service in front of ideal clients? That's not idea, it's supposed to be ideal clients. How will you communicate your message? Number seven, operation. How are you going to run your business? Determine the most efficient way to get the job done. And number eight, it's going to be financial projection. How much money do you need to start run the business? Determine the profitability of the company, right? So that's going to be your financial forecast. So let's move to the first point, executive summary. So what does executive summary contain? So executive summary is just as we mentioned here in the short note. It's about your mission, your vision, and your purpose. Now, in a broader way, for your business foundation, right, you might want to write down the mission, your vision, and your purpose. But on the right side, what you see here, executive summary, and opportunity, problem summary. This, what you see here, let's say that is for your product or your services. So that is a small marketing plan if you have. You may want to use this little executive summary for your marketing plan. So you are not drafting executive summary just because of you have a business, but in every section of a business for sales, or if you say sales, or if you say that you want to have something new, you want to launch a new product or something like that. So you need actually executive summary in everything that you do. So before you launch a product or you release a product, or if you think about, uh, starting a new or pivoting a business or anything like that. So whatever you do, you really do need have an executive plan for everything. So, but just for this purpose, building foundation, business foundation, what you need is this mission, your vision, and your purpose. So why are you doing or building or starting this business, right? And let's go to the next one. And uh, to draft a business plan, number two, target market. Who are your product service intent for? Conduct a survey to gather demographic interest and budget. What is a target market? Or what is a target market? A target market is a segment of potential customers who are more likely to buy a product or services from you, right? So your business can be anything, right? You can sell anything in this world. So what you need to know, understand is who are going to be your buyers, who are your products or the service intended for. So is it based on the country or based on the people or based on some sort of education, like people who are in designs or commerce or arts or something like that, and value. It could be, is it for pets or is it for charities or is it for kids or something like that, and or is it like related to genders, age, hobbies, lifestyle? So you have the kind of idea about who you can target your market, right? And on the left side, which you see here, the target market, we have a list of product, price, promotion, and place. So basically, you got to understand who your target market is, and you can focus on them and just have your product ready based on your research, who are going to be your buyers or your customers, right? And number three is competitors. Define your competitors, define their strength and weakness, determine your competitive advantage, elaborate the difference. So competitors, This slides actually I got it from a website. I'm not sure what website that I have got it, but I believe it's from Mint. I can see here that it shows the Mint, so I assume that it's from Mint. So it just is just for your info, right? This is for a free info. So we just want to make sure that we understand that we're not just bluntly talking about things, but we are actually referencing from the real time and the real things here. So key competitors, what they have here is who are their key competitors, right? No revenue models, freemiums, community-based, limited source of information from wisdoms of the crowds, poor attractions, unspecific sensations, potential entrants, right? Meant this day. So advantage, you have to write it down. You have to understand your competitor. It's not about that you want to compete with them, but you don't want to do something which they did not do, right? So to understand, like if there is a similarities in your product, you don't want to repeat the same thing what somebody has already repeated. So the only purpose for to learn your competitor is that what they have done and where they have missed out, and what are the other opportunity that you can jump onto, right? For example, when Uber started, Lyft wasn't there much, but as based on Uber, issues, Uber has faced a lot of issues initially when they have started the business. At the point of time, Lyft was able to learn a lot of things, but they were not in competitions in any shape or form till today. But it's just that Lyft intend to learn a lot of things from Uber. So very similar to that. You want to know your competitor. It's not about the contest, but it's just about to avoid the same reputation and loss and issues and concerns and problems, right? So you have to study your competitors, a basic thing about it. So let's move to the next one, the fourth one, staffing. Okay, and fifth, I didn't have a slides for this one because I believe that you just understood it by reading what it meant. Staffing, do you really need any other person to help you out? So, yes, you will need it, right? Including pay, experience, or role responsibility. So where does this staffing comes and fits in? So this is the one which I want to show you guys how it's going to work. Uh, the staffing part is just like you want to actually have a small team, not necessarily, physical presence at your office or at home, but you want to have some sort of a virtual assistant or a personal assistant virtually who can help you out. And at the end, whether you are living in the same country or not, the job profile is always the same. So you just have to teach somebody or show them someone, how you want things to be done. Actually, if they are from east or west side of the world, it doesn't matter. As long as you instruct them how to work, they will work for you, and you necessarily don't have to have a kind of overhead to use their services for your own for your staffing expenses, right? So you can always search on this freelancer website. There are a lot of good people who have used in past as well. So yeah, it depends on how long you want it, and but you can also always get people who are inexperienced of these business administrations or operations and management. You can always hire some of them. You don't necessarily have to hire for 40 hour, but just about like a 20 hours in a week. So right, and so number five, vendors and suppliers supplies. Will you require outside source or project to operate? This is very, very much similar to something like if you have sorts of franchise business or a distribution business, you want to know that where your inventories or products can be shipped or can be stored. So you may want to have a list of who's going to be your vendors. Let's say if you have to have a product, then you need to have a warehouse and you need to have a retail stores and warehouse and all those stuff. So these going to be your vendors, where your product would be stored and where your product will be sold. So basically, uh, selling your products as well as storing your product are the vendors that you have to keep in mind that who are going to be these partners and supplies. Well, actually, whether it's a product or a service,
you always need a supply. So if you are in the marketplace and you're concerned, confused on what to do, remember that you can always create a demand as long as there is a supply. So it just the first is always about supplies. There is always questions about the chicken or the egg. So in the similar to that questions here in the marketplace, two-side marketplace basically. In the service industry, which one do you need first, the market or the supplies? Well, the great answer is the supply. So as long as you have a supply, you will always have a demand. You can always create a demand, right? So initially, when Uber has started, for example, there was not much of what we call it the demand. And while there was not much of the demand, because people were kind of a very much skeptic about this kind of a service and platform, uh, that point of time they were doing quite a bit marketing with low cost, and at the same time they were building their supplies. As soon as they build their supplies and the availability of this product or the service was kind of more easy for consumers. They create the demand and they hype up the demand, and that's how people get influenced, and one started and the other person does follow. So that's how Uber and many other companies has started. So if you are going to start an Airbnb kind of a business, or if you want to start any kind of a tool marketplace like Uber or delivery food or anything like that, or say for tenmis, we are looking for suppliers at the first point. So as long as we have the suppliers, we always can look for the demand, right? So this is something that we have to keep in a record and work on our business plan. Okay, so number five, and this one is number six. So as we were discussing, marketing plan. So how will you get your product service in front of ideal clients? How will you communicate your message? So how will you get your product? Well, the only way to get your product would be to do a marketing, some forms of a marketing, right? So here is a marketing plan strategy that we have it. You want to understand how big is your market. That's the first thing. Now the second thing is that you don't want to cover all that area. You want to just cover as small as you can. You will just if you are targeting around about let's say 1,000 crowd, go for the first one or two, one first or second. Because what happened here is that when you start marketing instead of 1,000 people, right? If you market to one or two people, those people who are genuinely going to give you feedback can always spread your business with the word of mouth, right? And so that is the genuine feedback. And instead of 1,000 people, you're right. Instead of a thousand leads, you want to with no sale, with 1,000 leads of no sale, you want to go with the two or 10, 2 or 5. It's fine, as long as you have some sales. So you don't want to go for high network or a demographic, but you just want to go small, but understand how big your market share and how much can you cover, right? If you understand how big is your marketing, how big is your market, then you will be able to start very small. Without understanding how big is your market, you will actually be wasting a lot of time. So you want to first understand and also understand your product, right? As we have discussed earlier, who are going to be your buyers. So you want to first focus on where is your market, basically, and then who is going to be your buyers, basically, who will be using your products, right? And then you want to compare your price if it's something that it's too high, too low, or it's okay, you just want to make somewhere uh, a good test and a trial. And so you do want to have a financial plan, because if you do not have a financial plan and understanding your market share, which means how far do you want to go with marketing things, if you do not have the accounting place in place, then you may just end up, wasting a lot of funds that you have reserved for to operate your business. So you got to be very, very careful and plan according to and have a sufficient budget for each marketing strategies, right? And then also you want to implement and manage the results. So as we have the first the slides over here, which I have shown you executive summary, right? This executive summary that I explained to you, this is what I have written down here. Number six, marketing plan. So let's say if this was your executive plan for the marketing, uh, this is these are the actual points that you may want to use it. First, your marketing plan, executive summary of your marketing plan, and then you want to understand the market situations, right? What is going on in the market? Are people willing to buy, or is there any kind of other competitors? Is there in a good price, or same price, or less or more price? And then you want to run your own SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis, it stands for, I'll show you here, right? It stands for strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. The best way in every business, small or big, if you really, really want to success in your business, you want to always have this SWOT analysis. You don't need somebody expert to do it. You can just do it your own, but you just have to do a bit of research, and based on that, you'll be able to figure it out. What is your strength, weakness, and opportunity and threats, right? So this is what we have: strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats, right? Okay, and objective and issues. That's what it's already described here, and the problem summary and the solution summary. That's what you want to do, mention in your executive summary for your marketing plan. Okay, and the marketing strategy. This is what we have here: the marketing strategy, and the action program, the budget, and the controls. This is kind of a very self-explanatory. It's just that we need actual points, what you're going to be observing and looking into while structuring your marketing plan. So this, for that reason, I just have just shared this information that you can copy it down. And also, this content will be shared on a PDF file, and I'll share you the link in the description so you can download for yourself, right? And the seventh and the eighth one is, how are you going to run your business? Determine the most efficient way to get the job done. So, operation. Now, as we have a team, let's say we have a team, we have built up the operation team, the IT team, the customer service team, and the management team, right? So, how are you going to run your business? Basically, are you going to be operating your business like as a restaurant, physical presence, or are you going to be doing as a virtual? Determine the most effective way to get the job done. So, can you, if let's say, if you have to operate your business right now and you want to start a business, you need some staffing, right? You need some accountants, you need some lawyers, or some people who can help you on the IT part, the computer or the technology part, and also to help you on the management part, right? Do you actually want to go and hire somebody, or is it possible for you to go virtually and search for somebody who can help you out for the first year or for the first 6 months or until you are ready to go and hire, the real full-time people, right? And so you have to determine these points very, very well, because you have to structure your budget, and your budget has to have limitations. You cannot exceed more than what you have in your bank. So if you have a runway of about let's say 6 to 1 year, you cannot over uh, you cannot have any overhead beyond that runway of a period. So because what happens is that you're going to burn down. So your business will, of course, will fail, or if not, then you might have to go through a kind of suffering time, so it's not really worth. So understand your executive summary and follow that guidelines, so that you end up with kind of a positive sign whenever you want to roll out your plan or execute your plan, right? So that is the reason why we need a financial project. How much money do you need to start to run the business? Determine the profitability of the company. That is very, very important. So you don't necessarily have to have a balance sheet or anything like that, but you can just have a kind of a basic rough forecast of a profit and loss account of your business. How much can you expect every month or every quarter or every year. So just have a kind of a, a, a draft for the next 4 quarter, say about four period of your forecast of your accounting of your business profit and loss, and try to have an exit plan as well for the first for the next by the next 3 years and 5 years. So I would just go with the first three. After 3 years, what would be your exit plan? Right, you need to actually have an exit plan. But if you have a good financial projection, then you will already you will come across or you will be able to have a better idea about your exit plan, basically. All right, so using so here's what it says: building team using Fiverr. So this is our main second point. So well, the reason why I want to show you this particular screenshot is because it does explain a lot for startup business and or small business. So what do we need? Uh, you know, in a small business, building a small business foundation, we actually need a good team. So in this top 20 reasons startup fail based on analysis of 101 startup post morning, right? So most people go out of the business because no market need. The market is over and ran out of cash. So uh, this is what we were talking about. You want to calculate your budget very properly. If not, if you do exceed it, and if you are not making any good sales or revenue, then it's gonna hit very badly on your business. And so the third point is that here, not the right team, right? Before you hire somebody, right? You want to make sure that you hire somebody virtually and you're able to explain them and see if you match or you will actually learn a lot of things from other people as well when you start virtual employee virtual staff. uh, so that's my suggestions. So try to build a team virtually first before you end up paying somebody 5 to 6 grand or have an account of 10,000 monthly. So instead of 10,000 monthly having about 3 employee 4 employee, you can actually hire the same amount of people and use that budget for the next 6 months. That's the way I would look into, right? So yeah, so team building a team, I would say go with virtual assistant or personal assistant and have your own team from a freelancer and you know try to manage them and see where it goes. All right, so how to build it's how to draft a business plan. Well, this is not how to draft a business plan, but it's supposed to be building the team fiber. But anyway, the flat organization structures, this you can find it on the website as well. But I have just created this little thing. So let's assume that you are a CEO here. That lady over here is not a CEO. That is your personal assistant, right? So you are the CEO, you are the business chairman, the president, or whatever that you want to be, right? There's a lot of things you have to do. You have to look everything, but at the end, you will not be able to monitor each and every person, uh, you know, status. So what you want to do is you actually want to hire somebody who is really professional and who does have a very good record in freelance marketing. And you want to hire those person as your personal assistant, and you can get one good personal assistant for about I would say $500 to $600 a month, uh, from Fiverr, with a people experience of 5 to 7 years as a personal assistant or business manager or a secretary, right? So, what is their roles and responsibilities? So, let's say if you're a CEO here, you have the personal assistant. At first, before you have this personal assistant, you want to have all these things drawn that what you are looking, what kind of a team that you would need to operate your business, right? So once you have this little chart with yourself, go and hire. The first thing is to hire your personal assistant and then work with the personal assistant. You contact the marketing guy, you contact the production guy, you contact the IT guy and the some customer service guy, and once you build up the kind of a relation with this guy and they are willing to work for you, that time you will not be able to monitor each of these guys directly every now and then, but you can just ask your personal assistant to follow up with this every 3 days or every 2 days, or go through the report and look at if they have met their deadlines for whatever the task they are given you, right? So these guys are available and freelance, Upwork, or Fiverr. So the human resource is something that you have to manage it. You're a personal assistant. I would not suggest somebody virtually or your personal assistant should manage the human resource at the starting stage of your business. So let them manage the other things, but not your finance, but not your whatever the accounting or the legal part of your business. but you need a personal assistant to help you out on the rest of the thing, to monitor the other part of the business. So basically, this person operate as your uh, COO, right? Chief Operation uh, Officer. So this is the person who operated for you, and you are executing programs based on whatever these guys have done or whatever the assignment you guys have for your business. All right. So and the SWOT analysis, this is what we were talking about earlier. So why do we need a SWOT analysis? To understand what is the strength, the weakness, and opportunity and threats. So here, the threats going to be your competitors, the governments, the law, or the community, the environment, or the country, everything. So what is your weakness or your competitor weakness? What are your strength, your competitor's strength? What is the opportunity? What you guys are working on it, right? You if you have this kind of a list, the longer list that you have, you will be able to understand your business more clearly, right? So if you want to have a vision, a good, clear vision for your missions and vision for your business, you are uh, required to have this SWOT analysis properly drawn for based on your business, right? And so the last point, what we have here is gather marketing materials. So uh, what is a marketing materials? Marketing collateral. So basically, what it says here, it's concepts of collateral marketing refers to a collections of media items that are being used in order to support the sales of product and service. So it says, in order to support the sales of products and service, you need this marketing material. So what you want to do is, starting as you are about to start your business, first you want to market before your product is built, or before you launch your product, or before you even start your product. Start a kind of a blog, and then discuss with people like what do they think about this kind of a product or services if available in the market, right? And then once you developed your product, just show them how it works, and tell them how is it available at what time, where, and all those places. And also, if you want to write about a little ebook about how your product runs and what are the features and the competitors. Basically, if you write an ebook, it's going to be helpful for first the investor, the second people who are going to be using your product, and the third is the media who would like to read about your business. And you may get a call for a free interview to describe about your product and get a free marketing sponsorship from the televisions, and the newsletter and brochures. Brochures is kind of a flyer stuff. So these are some of the things that you would really require. And also you can start your own blog, vlogs, and all stuff, YouTube stuff. So that's a good thing. And the value to the users, there is something. This is again from the Mint. This is something which I felt just want to share with you. It's not something that you want to copy or clone it, but something how Mint or a company like Mint is using it. So what is that you are bringing to your customers? So if you are looking onto the SWOT analysis, the opportunity, the strength is something that you might want to extract from the value to user and put into your SWOT list, right? And a few steps of marketing. I will share, of course, this in your in a PDF, which is in the description, and you can go through about this information. And this is the last shot. SMART. What does SMART stand for? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So this is how you want to create your business plan and operate your business according to how you have structured. Do not change. Do not pivot or move around here and there, or else the problem is that if you just pivot from your business plan, you have to draft a new plan, and then that's going to consume some time. You have to do a research. So if there is something that is blocking your way, try to figure it out. Not one all thing at a time. Just take it easy step. One thing at a time. But it is very, very good for you to have this uh, business plan properly to strengthen your foundations and to understand and operate your business in an efficient way. All right, guys, with that, we will end our slide for today.
Alright guys, if you think today's content is good and helpful for you, please feel free to share this content and we will discuss more in the future. And if you would like to add some kind of feedback, suggestions, please feel free to contact, and I'll respond as soon as I can. Okay, and for now, let's get it over with this and see you on the next video.